Hey and welcome to another tarot reading. Today we're taking a look at your first date with Valko. Since today is our Bring Valko Back campaign on YouTube, I decided to share this video with you. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the timestamp. You can pick pile number 1, 2 or 3. Alright, bye bye. Hi pile 1. We're going to take a look at your first date with Valko. I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what they tell us. Your first date with Valko. I wonder if it's easier to... Should I take one card or 2 cards? I think I'll need 2. Judgment. Oh, okay. So this is the setting for the date. Seems like it's a concert. And his mindset during this date. Valko's mindset during the date. 5 of Wands. Conflicting emotions. Your dynamic. Two of Swords and the Temperance. Can I fit them there too? Yeah, I think I can do that. So this is the setting for the date. His mindset, and this is your dynamic. What surprises you? Six of Pentacles. Okay, I think I need another card there. What surprises you? Four of Cups. And then we have how the date ends. Maybe I should move them up a bit. How the date ends. Oh shit. Knight of Wands and Nine of Cups. That's nice. I also want to take a few tea leaves. I want a purple one because that's... We can take a look at this one at the end. Purple. April. Alright, so the setting, this date takes place in April, and I think he's bringing you to a concert or to some place where there's a scene and you're in the audience. I'm guessing because I can't see him. I don't think he's going to stand on stage. Maybe it's a stand-up evening. With the Knight of Cups, I see this as being carefree and she's obviously enjoying herself, so I think you're going to have a good time. Maybe it's some sort of festival. I'm going to ignore the judgment because I'm looking at the setting. So I think, you know, he's bringing you somewhere where there's a lot of people, but you can also be like secluded from everything, from everyone, and get some privacy. But it seems like you're going to enjoy yourself, and he's I think it's going to be a good first date. And then we have their mindset, and he's got the Five of Wands. And we spoke about this in a different reading, where the Five of Wands created a star, and there's different people, different hands holding a stick. And I also showed the normal Rider-Waite, where there's 5 people arguing or fighting with their sticks. But I don't see this as fighting, actually. I think this is more like an inner conflict. Since we know that he's a werewolf, I think he's conflicted with how much he can share. I think the only conflict in this card is within himself. But I don't think he's not conflicted about the date. I think he's just, you know, unsure about how much he can share, or how much he should share, perhaps. And then we have your dynamic, and that's the Two of Swords and Temperance. So your dynamic, I think, I don't know which one is who, but I think like this guy is protecting his backpack, and he's got like a shield around himself. So I think this might be him. I think he's been hurt, or he's what's it called when you're not introvert? I hate when I have words, like when I know the word, but it's just on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it out. Reserved. I think he's quite reserved, and again, I think it comes down to this, like he's unsure about how much he can share with you. And I think it boils down to his werewolfness, his werewolf side. I'm looking at this guy because his eyes are on the wallet. So he's a thief, and he sees it and he's protecting himself. Maybe he's afraid you're gonna steal his heart, but I think you already have. It's such a cheesy thing to say. And if that's him, then this is you. Temperance is about balance and mixing two things that don't really mix, like oil and water. So I think you're questioning, like, you might be questioning, like, if this is this a good match? But I think it is, you know, because if he just isn't so, if he decides to share more about himself, then I actually think you two mirror each other, because their faces are the same, and they both have, can you see it? Yeah, you can. Both have glasses, and their faces are basically the same. So I think you two mirror each other. So I think you two might be more alike than you realize at first glance, you know, when you first hang out here at the concert or whatever. But I think he's quite, not unsure, but he's careful with Two of Swords. Is about making a decision, and I think that's it. Like, is he going to let down his shield I think he's trying to figure out if you're dangerous to him, but you're not. And you're like bored. How long is this gonna take? So if this is your dynamic, then I think you two get along, and I think this is his problem. Like, you can't really do anything about it. I was expecting a more like woohoo type of reading. What surprises you is the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. I take that back. No, I mean what I said there, but I take back what I just said about not having a happy... Because the Six of Pentacles is about giving and sharing, giving and receiving, and finding balance. Like, I talked about this in another reading as well regarding Valko. What surprises you? So, and then you have the Four of Cups. So you also have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is usually a guy receiving a cup from a cloud, from the universe. But here it's like you two are chilling outside, drinking alcoholic beverages. No, I don't think it's alcohol. But I take this as... What was the question? What surprises you? Yeah. So I think I actually see this as if he's fighting himself, like his inner self, and he's debating whether he should let his guard down or not, because he's not sure, you know, if you're going to be good to him or not. I think that he realizes that you two are very much alike. You're different, but alike, or the same. Well, you're not the same, but autistic brain. And I think that he lets his guard down. So I think he realizes what surprises you. Yeah, maybe he realizes that in order to receive what he wants, or he will need to give the same thing to you. So it's a give and take type of thing. And so maybe you realize, you know, it's not like you can sit and speak to each other if you're on a concert. But you obviously realize, like, if you're sitting and talking, you know, afterwards, you probably realize that, oh, he's fighting something within. Like, he's quite reserved. What am I gonna do about that? But then I think you slowly realize that the more you talk and the more you hang out and the more you get to know each other, he's actually not that bad. And I think he also realizes that he can let down his guard around you. So I think the surprise is that he's not so bad once he, you know, starts arguing with himself. Oh my god. And how the date ends. You have the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Alright, so the Knight of Wands is somebody who is passionate and fiery and creative and, you know, goes after what he wants. This is how the date ends. And then the Nine of Cups is it's usually a table with 9 cups and a guy who's like super pleased. So I take this as, you know, when you sit and chill and speak to each other and talk and, you know, get to know each other, I think he's realizing that, oh wow, I really, really like this person. And, you know, this fiery, passion, starts burning inside of him, and he's like, this is, you know, everything that I have ever wished for. This is my person. Like, I need to, you know, keep her or him in my life. So I mean, this is basically the 10 of Cups is the woo happiness ever after card, but this is like super close to it. So the date ends really well. Do I want to take a look at this? Oh my god. Oh, happiness! Yay! That's great. Do I want to pull any sweet love tea cards as well, just to wrap it up? I think I do. Is there any other messages that I can tell the reader? Reader? The watcher? The person? The... yeah. I'm gonna shut up. Any extra messages for the viewer, maybe it's called. Oh shit, I'm dropping everything. I hope there's no, you know, red flag or stuff. Do we only get 2 cards? Maybe that's good. Plan ahead, prepare for a rainy day and stay flexible. Okay, so maybe it rains, maybe that's why you're going there. Flying high, she's flying high. Feeling infatuated or having an intense affair. Should we take a third one just because? Can I get a last message, please? Thank you. Expectations, having very high ideals or unreasonable requirements. Dreamer and fantasies. Right, that's all I have for you today, pile number 1. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Today we're going to take a look at your first date with Valko. So I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what they tell us. First card is going to be the setting where this date takes place. 4 of Cups. Oh, coffee shop. And then his mindset during this date. Oh shit. Are your actions really as selfless as you think? I think we need another card there. Why is the 7 of Swords here? 10 of Wands. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Your dynamic. I want 2 cards, please. The High Priestess. I wonder if that's you. I like how she's playing around with her tarot cards. Six of Wands. You're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. Do they fit? What surprises you? Page of Cups. And how the date ends. Oh my god, 4 cards. Okay. I also want to get a date card or month card from the tea leaves. Oh shit. Alright, we'll go with this. July. And I think I want you got the unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. That fits with the High Priestess. So I want a green card. So the bell, announcement, and whale. Great worry over nothing fell out. Over the 10 of Wands. Announcement. Is that why he's worrying? Hey, yo, bro. Great worry over nothing. That makes sense. Okay, I'm taking these two anyway. Because this is the 7 of Swords. And this announcement. Okay. Can I fit them here? Should work, yeah. And I also have a green card that I'm saving for later. So I'm putting it there. Setting. The setting for this date, your first date, is a coffee shop. I'm not gonna bother with this. It's the 4 of Cups. It's usually a guy getting a cup from a cloud, from the universe, and he doesn't really want it. So, but I'm not, because this is the setting and it's a coffee shop, so that's what I'm looking at. And I think you might actually take your coffee to go, or your bubble tea or whatever you drink, you know. So I don't think you stay at the coffee shop. You might, I don't know. Possibilities, you know. And you're having this date in July. So his mindset is the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. And we got the whale and the bell. So great worry over nothing is basically the 7 of Swords. Kinda. I talked about the 7 of Swords in another reading because it's the lies and deceit card. And 10 of Wands is usually somebody who feels like the whole world is on their shoulders, and they've been carrying it for a long, long time. I actually take this as him being afraid of fucking things up with you. Because the 7 of Swords together with the whale, like great worry over nothing. And the 10 of Wands, you know, why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? So I'm actually thinking that he's really, really afraid of screwing things up with you. So I think he's afraid of screwing things up with you. And I think he might be thinking that he can't bring you what you want, or he's afraid that he's not what you've been looking for. I think he's afraid he's like screwing things over, which I've said a couple of times. So I'm gonna move on because they are getting on my nerves. Your dynamic is the High Priestess and the 6 of Wands. So your dynamic is the High Priestess and the 6 of Wands. And I read this as, I think you're quite intuitive on your own. I don't know if you are one of the tarot girlies. maybe you just like it, like have a thing for magic or enjoy that sort of genre. I think you're very intuitive. I think you know things. I think you trust your gut feeling, or you're learning to do so. And I think you're usually right when you trust yourself. So I think and I also see this as being patient. So I think you're more patient, and I think that because you don't... I mean, you could have gotten... There are 78 cards in a tarot deck, so for you to show up as the High Priestess is quite significant. Because there are so many other cards you could have been. So I think with the Six of Wands, if this is your dynamic, I think he comes to terms with the fact that he has been worrying over nothing. Because the Six of Wands is celebration and like winning. And I, without actually knowing, because I haven't read the book, but I can imagine that she's either gone through some sort of transformation, or maybe she's come to terms with loving herself. That could be it. So your dynamic is going from, you know, him being this way into coming to terms and feeling stable. And I think you have a big deal with that, because I think you're quite grounded in yourself, and I think that in itself grounds him. So that's your dynamic. Is that even an answer to... Yeah, I guess it is. What surprises you is the Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. And she has the same hair color as me. That's nice. I think what surprises you is that there's a whole ocean of emotions or aspects of his personality or his life that that you're getting to know. And I think, you know, if this is the first date, I think you're just like dipping your toes into the water. And I think you're realizing quite quickly, because you're so intuitive, that there is a lot to his character. There's a lot to Valko that you would just love to dive in and explore. But you have your little coffee cup, which you brought from the coffee shop. So it's like one step at a time, because you're not actually at the water, but you're getting there. I mean, if we look at Valko in the game, or what we got to see from the trailers, he's quite logical. I think what surprises you is his emotional side. And I think he starts showing it to you during your date, because you're a safe person, so he feels like he doesn't have to like hide. So he moves away from these swords and you know, becomes her. How the date ends. You got the 10 of Cups. That's great. The Queen of Cups, also great. The Chariot. Oh my, I didn't see that before. And 7 of Cups. So how the date ends. It ends with you wanting to schedule another date. And I think it's a bit difficult to find a date that actually fits both of you, because you have so much thing. He has things. I mean, he's ruling a country. No, he isn't. He's ruling a company. And I mean, considering that the bicycle is heading, it's basically moving back to the start. I'm gonna say that by the end of this date, you or both of you are wishing to go back and redo, like, do the whole first date again, but probably without this part. Because I'm not gonna say that it's a waste of time, even if it is, but you know, he could have spent this energy, this mental energy on you, instead of, you know, thinking that he's a burden or that he's not good enough. I'm gonna take a look at this. I haven't seen it. Astral House. Oh no! Really? Oh, that's so cute. Love. How the date ends. Love. Do I want... Maybe I'm risking this. Should I take some Sweet Love Tea cards as well? I don't know. Maybe I'll get something bad. We can go with 2, okay? Shit. Fluttering heart. Enjoy the romance and decide if you want more. Oh. I mean, there are some bad cards in this, so I don't know. I don't want to ruin it. All right, let's go. Shit, fuck. No. Ooh. Love swings. Why am I doing so... Wow. Okay, I'm weird. Love swings. Put aside differences and soar to the next level. We have 2 more. I'm actually nervous now. 1, 2, 3. Nay. On the move, moving away or getting a new home together. Enchanted whisper, listen to your heart and take a chance on love. Oh, I don't even like these kind of things because I think it's so cheesy, but this, I'm actually happy for you. So that's your first date with Valko. I hope you enjoy this reading and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Hi pile 3 and welcome to your reading. I'm gonna shuffle the deck and we will see how your first date with Valko is going to go. 4 of Wands. This is the setting. Am I having it upside down? No, I don't. So the setting is 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is usually like happy home and marriage. But they're at the city. Okay, I'm gonna lay out all the cards and then we will talk. So that's the setting. His mindset during this date. What's Valko's mindset during this date? Oh shit. The Hierophant and the Knight of Swords. And then we have your dynamic. Oh, 3 cards. I don't think I can fit them. Setting, his mindset, and your dynamic. And then we have what surprises you. Oh, 5 of Wands. Why is the 5 King of Cups? Okay. And then how the date ends. Ooh. How does the date end? Okay. The Magician. Can I get another card, please? How does it... 8. The date ends. The High... Why is the... I think the High Priestess has shown up in every reading. And then I have tea leaves. So purple tea leaf, because that's a month. Because I want to know when this date happens. V. Okay. Green, I will save that for last. And here we have a month. We have 2 months. I think I want them. I don't know why. I might regret that. I think I want that one there, and then I want these 2 over here. Can you see them? Yeah, you can. So, setting this date with Valko. To me, this seems like this is not gonna work if it's winter. Should I check the months first, maybe? So we have April and October. Okay, that works, right? So it's either a spring or a autumn date, fall date. So the 4 of Wands. This date, I think you are leaving the city behind and going out on a picnic, because she has a picnic basket. And they're both having flowers, so I think he either gives you flowers or you're going out to pick flowers. So it's an outdoor date, and that works because April and October are not really cold months, so that's nice. His mindset is the Hierophant and the Knight of Swords. I'm almost afraid to look at this. Spear. Heartache over what you no longer have. Needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. So it's the Hierophant is usually like somebody who grants contracts, like marriage. This is sometimes a marriage card. I mean, together with this, it could definitely be a marriage proposal. Contracts, signing papers, structure, and together with the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest knight. It kind of makes me feel like he's rushing. I think in his mind he's rushing to... I think he's made up his mind. When he asked you out on this date, I think he already like knew that this is the person I want to be with. So I think in his brain, he's already dead set on you're the person for him. So you might feel like he's rushing, and he is. Because you're someone that he doesn't want to get to lose, basically. And I think he... Oh, why am I screaming? And I think he... Like, considering this and traditions, I think that the way he views relationships is that he, as the guy, should be the one who makes the first move and who asks you out on a date and who pays. And I think he expects that of himself, to be sort of a provider in a good sense. I don't know how you feel about that, but in his brain, I think in his mind, I think that's his mindset. He's rushing, and he probably knows it. Heartache over what you no longer have. A needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. I think he's fearing heartache. I think he's fearing that you're not gonna like him. And I think he might be rushing. And rushing is not always a good thing, but, you know, it is what it is. Your dynamic is the 9 of Pentacles, the Empress, and the 5 of Swords. I think this is great, actually, because the 9 of Pentacles is the most single card in the whole deck. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody who is self-sufficient, who takes care of herself, somebody who has everything that they need, somebody who makes everything go around. Like money is not an issue and you have work. That doesn't mean that you never struggle. I just, during this date, you're seen as very much single. But at the same time, you have the Empress. And the Empress is like fertility in a body. She is all the four queens. So I think this is you and this is how he sees you. Because he wants to get married. And I think it's quite funny actually that you have the Four of Wands there. I think you've been single for a long time and you don't have any problems with it. That doesn't mean that you don't want a relationship. I just mean that I think you're used to taking care of yourself. But he sees you like you're his dream woman, girl. I think, when he sees you, he's like, wow, like poof, 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 poof. His heart is like exploding with emotions and he's just weak in the knees and like you're so gorgeous and his mouth waters and he's getting sweaty palms and his heart is racing and he's you're just everything that he wants. And the dynamic, you also have the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is fear of defeat or memory of defeat. This is a fear that history might repeat itself or fear that one will be hurt again. Basically, there are two fears held in the mind. One is fear that a new relationship may not work out. Or two, having fear of moving in new directions that are emotionally important to you. Well, that explains why it's there, why the card is there. Because this is the dynamic, so I get it. I'm actually glad that I read in the book. Because Nine of Pentacles is being single, right? And the Empress is how he sees you, most likely. Because, I have a hard time seeing him as the Empress. Like, that makes no sense. So, the Five of Swords being here in the dynamic position makes sense. Because it's like he's afraid of presenting himself wrong so that you won't be interested in him, right? Because he's afraid of losing you. So the Five of Swords in this situation is not about winning a conflict unfairly, like this book says. But this book only has one description. So yeah. So I think he's like, even if he's, maybe that's why he's moving so fast, because he's afraid of you changing your mind about him. I don't know. But you've been single for a long time and you're like everything that he wants. And he's super afraid of losing you. What surprises you? And that's the Five of Wands. And the King of Cups. And here we have Apple. Temptation will test you. And V, victory in some endeavor. And Five of Wands, we have talked about this in another reading as well. Because this is fighting. What surprises you? And the King of Cups can be manipulative. So what surprises you? I think maybe what surprises you is how he's at war with his own feelings. Because again, swords are mental energy. So these are his thoughts. And if he's fighting them over his emotions because he's afraid of losing you, then I think that surprises you. Maybe you're not even aware of it. And that's why it's a surprise. Is there any other way I can look at it? Victory in some endeavor and temptation will test you. I mean, I guess it could also be conflicting emotions, but I don't see why that would be a... I'm not feeling that at all. Did I just counter, like, say one thing and then say the complete opposite? I don't know, I'm getting so tired. I don't know, I think I need to eat something. So what surprises you is... I think what surprises you is that he's battling himself. Or maybe what surprises you is that he seems so calm on the outside while there's chaos within. I guess that could be another take on it. Because some people have that ability to, like, show up as super calm. And they're like, there's a raging war. What happened to my words? Raging. Raging war inside. But I don't understand why temptation will test you. Maybe the depth of his emotions surprises you. Because, I mean, normally, if I were to go on a date with somebody and they're like, oh, I want to marry you, I would be like, okay, red flag, red flag. But I mean, if I was on a date with Silas and he was like, oh, I'm gonna marry you, I would be like, okay, when? So, I mean, how the date ends. You got the magician and the high priestess. The magician has all the suits, pentacle, wands, cups, and swords. And this is a manifester. So how the date ends, and she is extremely intuitive. Like nothing goes past her. But the magician can be manipulative. I can't even say it. That's such a difficult word to say. And nothing goes past her. So the date ends good. You're both happy, but it's you're manifesting. I think the date ends with you both wanting more and like taking it to the next step. So if you're single you're single when this happens because it's your first date, I think you're becoming a couple by the end of it. And that would make sense with the victory in some endeavor, because this is his victory basically, because he wants you. I'm gonna take some love sweet tea cards. I hope I don't get any... Okay, fuck. Power play, wanting to dominate or control the relationship. First blush, soft whispers of affection, make love bloom. Power play, why is he so... But I mean, this isn't so strange actually, considering this. But I don't see him, I och sig. And yeah. Insecurity, influence. So you have quite a lot of influence on... You're not powerless in this, is what I feel I need to say. Can I get... Should I take one or two? Alright, 2 more cards. What else can you tell me? Thank you. Anything else? Awareness. Distracted or filling life with other things. Maybe I should have not taken that. Graceful dance. Lift each other during both high and low times. Inspire, hold footing. Look for love and dating. Well, I mean, this is a date, so I guess. I mean, it's not a bad first date. There's potential, obviously. There's, he has some things that he needs to work through. But I think the first date is going to be super fun. And, you know, it's obviously going well because you end up with happiness. I'm not 100% sure about... I mean, I see it there, and there. But I mean, you're the High Priestess and the Empress, so... I'm not worried at all. Alright, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.